Hello from the Flanagan Homestead. Today's video is going to be slightly different. I'm not showing you how to build anything or a project I'm doing, but it's something that I saw this summer I thought was really interesting, and since most of you that follow my channel have similar interests or whatnot, I thought you might find it interesting. And I'm talking about water, supply of water, and where the water comes from. You know, most of us as small-time farmers don't have access to the major rivers and the reservoirs there. But, you know, here in Washington State, a lot of farmers take incredible amounts of water from the Columbia River. But if you don't know, my wife and I enjoy hiking. That's one of our passions that we do together. We've done a number of really fantastic hikes. And this summer we had the chance to go to Glacier National Park. And one of the things that we saw that we found really interesting there is we hiked all over the park. And if you have a chance to go to any national parks, you should do it. I haven't been disappointed in any of them. But anyway, we went to Logan's Pass this day, which is the continental divide, divides the nation in the Rockies. And then the water flows one way on one direction, on one side, and one direction on the other side. And we ran into some people that worked at the park during the summer, and they said, oh, what you really want to do is you want to go climb Mount Oberlin. It's an unmarked trail, and so there's not going to be the crowds of people there. You get up to Logan's Pass and everybody else is doing these other trails, so you'll be off by yourself a little bit. And we did the hike. It was fantastic, and we were basically alone. We saw a couple people all day long. But the thing that I wanted to point out that was really interesting is I wouldn't call it a glacier because it's not large enough to fit the term of glacier, but there's snowpacks that were still there. This was late in the summer, so there wasn't a ton. But if it's right on the ridge, there's snow that's melting right here, and it's hitting the west side of the mountains, and it's flowing down and flowing west and south, and it's going to hit the Columbia River through different tributaries and go out between Washington and Oregon and go out. And the Columbia River has one of the largest outflows in the nation. And then water that could have been a foot away on that same patch, but it hit the east side, just happened to be on the other side of the boulder, hit the east side and was flowing down, and it would end up in tributaries. I believe it hit the Missouri and then the Mississippi River, and it ended up flowing into the Gulf of Mexico through the Mississippi. And the Mississippi is the largest flow of water river, puts out the most amount of water in the nation. So we'll see some video of that today and some pictures of where that was, but I thought it was really interesting. You know, usually when you're on one side or the other, it melts. It all is going to end up in the same river or the same main tributary, but we're sitting on top of Mount Oberlin looking down, and snow is melting, and I could actually see a stream, and it's running down this way, and it's going to go to the Pacific Ocean between Washington and Oregon, and then water that's starting 1 foot away is going to melt and go down and end up in the Mississippi. We're in Glacier National Park, sitting on the Oberlin Peak. Right below us is Logan Pass, which is on the continental divide, meaning on the far side is going to the east, on this side it's going to the west. This is the ridge line, and this is the low point to pass over at Logan Pass. Interesting thing here, you could see the streams right down here that run down on this side. It's just, there's the continental divide right up here. So the streams that run down on this side, this is going to fall off into the canyon, flow west into the Columbia River, and this stream that's just a little higher up, right over here, this stream right here is going to go on the other side of Logan Pass, drop off to the east, and hit the Mississippi River. So these streams, I could see them, got to be quarter mile apart right here. We'll end up thousands of miles apart in two different oceans. Or actually one, the Gulf of Mexico. Here's a quick look at the Mississippi River drainage, or what areas that flow into the Mississippi River. In the upper left-hand corner is where we were at Glacier National Park in Montana. And then everything that was flowing east of the Continental Divide there at Logan's Pass hits the Missouri, eventually hits the Missouri, and then the Mississippi River. In the upper right-hand corner, just of note, the Ohio River is actually one of the largest rivers as far as gallons per minute flowing out in the entire nation, and it hits the Mississippi. Almost half of the Mississippi River's water flow comes from the Ohio River. And here's the Columbia River drainage. Doesn't cover as big area. The Rockies is closer to the Pacific than it is the Gulf of Mexico. But in the upper right-hand corner is where we were at, Logan's Pass, and it flows down. And if you see the red X marked there, down there on the border of Washington and Oregon, that is where I'm located on the Flanagan Homestead. We're on Logan's Pass. Waterfalls coming over here. That's where we're headed, Oberlin Peak, or Oberlin Mountain? Oberlin Peak. Up on the ridge. Gonna follow it to the top. Here we go. Here we go, scampering up this trail. Marlise led the way. Hello. Oberlin Peak, Continental Divide, Glacier National Park. Got some clouds in the sky today, some smoke from forest fires out there in the west. There's my wife and hiking partner. At the very top of Oberlin Peak, see how the wind is whipping around up here. Got mountain goat friend. Hey, you're right in the trail, buddy. We gotta walk by. You gonna be okay with that? All right. Have a good day. So once again, thank you for joining me on the Flanagan Homestead, where Christmas trees are my business. Teaching, including horticulture, is my job, and outdoor projects, or actually hiking, is my passion, and just seeing how this world works. I hope you have a blessed day. Hope to see you again soon.